Health care bill. Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi saying it's not about health care for all Americans.
It's not about families sitting down and saying how are we going to allocate resources so that our child with a pre-existing condition can have health care. This was about giving a tax break to the richest people in our country.
Pelosi is saying Republicans who voted for the bill will be held accountable. President Trump heads to Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the Vatican later this month. It's Trump's first foreign trek as president. In remarks at the White House today, he said the Saudi trip will be highlighted by meeting with Muslim leaders from around the world. The president will visit New York today and have dinner with Australia's Prime Minister aboard the USS Intrepid in Manhattan. The Transportation Safety Administration says terrorists may use trucks as weapons. A TSA report urged truck rental companies and truck owners to report thefts and suspicious activities, including unusual and unexplained modifications like putting metal plates on the front of trucks. The TSA says gatherings with a lot of people may be targets of truck attacks. The Video Game Hall of Fame has 4 new members. Donkey Kong there, Pokemon Red and Green, Halo Combat Evolved, and Street Fighter II inducted into the hall today. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
This report is brought to you by CAL FIRE's new mobile app. Millions of dead trees have increased wildfire danger. Get prepared. Download the CAL FIRE mobile app. Take charge of your defensible space. Get wildfire alerts and enter for a chance to win the Ready for Wildfire home upgrade. Search CAL FIRE to download.
Here at Stater Brothers, we're committed to lower produce prices without compromising quality. So stop in today and save big on our Fresh for Less items at only 99 cents. That's right, just 99 cents. Stater Brothers, where you always get more for less.
From the KCAA Weather Center, this is Rod Arlen. Mostly clear tonight, 58 degrees for the low, mostly sunny on Tuesday, high of 89, 59 for a low. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 88 for a high, 61 for a low. Thursday, mostly sunny, 92 for a high. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM. 3-in-1, the trifecta of talk in Southern California.
This is KCAA.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the greatest real estate investment show ever. Here's the flip-flop investor himself, Todd Bayer.
Hey everyone, how we doing out there in Radio Land? I am the Flip-Flop Investor, Todd Bayer, and this is the Flip-Flop Investor Show. Every week we get together and talk about real estate investing here in the Inland Empire and abroad. Really, we could talk about it anywhere. And every week we try to get on a special guest to either be an expert in the industry and talk to us about all things real estate, or we bring on some new folks to talk about things that they're struggling with as a real estate investor. This week we have one of our favorite real estate investment experts and former Flip Flop Investor Radio Show co-host Stephen McKee. How you doing today, Steve?
It's all right, man.
We wanted to come on the show today and talk about all the things that we're just mad about lately. Not really. Yeah, it's a gripe show. We're going to gripe about
a
everything.
gripe show? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm actually good with the gripe show today.
We could gripe a little bit. I mean, I have the same complaints, and I know you and I share the same complaint about people not doing it. People getting started in the industry.
Not getting started in the industry?
Yeah, like people having some enthusiasm.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna. And yeah, they're gonna. And there's a lot of intensity there in the beginning. And then it just fizzles out. It goes away. And we don't know what happens to these people. And
we started talking about yesterday about how we've had especially when you and I were going to lunches with people together. I mean, now you go to lunch and I do meetings in the office. But there were a significant number of people we felt were extraordinarily promising, intelligent entrepreneurs. They were in the industry. They were going to be able to learn this industry really easily if they just put the work in. And we spent a lot of time talking to them over months.
Yeah.
And then they sort of disappeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, and some people I know they came in real strong.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody last night at our cash flow game about this, where they quit their jobs and they were just going to do it full force. And it's I love your enthusiasm, but it's a little unrealistic.
Yeah.
You've got 3 months of savings. I don't think it's such a great idea for you to just jump in both feet like that, maybe one of you should have kept your job. And, guess what? 3 months later, flash forward, and they're calling us trying to borrow money, and we can't, that's not what we do. We don't lend people money to make it as a real estate investor. I'm sorry. That's just not our business.
If we were in the business of being people's rich uncles, we'd be in the business of making small loans, right?
Right.
That's not what we do.
Yeah, although that is lucrative, but
somebody's got. There are plenty of people that do it.
Yeah,
I'm
payday
good on
advance,
it.
things like that. There's a lot of it out there.
I've noticed you see the frustration in the older guys that have been around a long time, in their 60s, 70s, sometimes 80s. That even like Jack Fullerton. So if you've been in the industry a long time, Jack Fullerton used to host a event in Orange County. Mm-hmm. And it was a big deal. A lot of people went there for a long time.
Yeah.
And he was in front of another meeting recently. He's sort of semi-retired, and that is a positive dude.
Oh, yeah.
And to see him like, well, most of you aren't going to do it anyway. And I went, wow, like he called him out. And so I think if we had enough time now in front of an audience and talking to people, we're starting seeing that fodder, like that people give up. It's sort of why I've been, working on that, multiple ways to buy spreadsheet.
Right.
That I'm gonna pitch. Pitch, is that the right word? Teach, whatever.
Propose.
Propose
Yeah.
at the
Make available
at that Millionaire Maker event in the desert, because it gives people like basically every way to possibly buy property. I'm hoping. I like, something in me really hopes that like this is the answer. That like it just gives them every solution, so they're always making money.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I'm probably going to be pretty discouraged by the end of it.
Yeah, it's because you can pretty much do anything with somebody that's looking to sell their property.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lead for a multitude of
They're
different
gonna
directions.
sell.
Yeah, it's going to sell. We just, we haven't figured out the right way to make that happen yet.
Just how? Like, how are you going to sell with an agent? Do you want cash flow for a portion of your life? Do you want all cash today? Mm-hmm. Is it a rental property? Can you calculate it as a rental? There's multiple ways to hold real estate. There's multiple ways to sell it.
And that's, I think a lot of people don't understand that, like the traditional method of buying and selling homes is only one of many methods for getting rid of property, or buying property, selling, even if you're going to occupy it as an owner, or if you're going to, do it as an investment property. There's so many different ways to do it. And we only really know of one as the general population. We know of one method, and that's, you open escrow and, you do that whole thing. But for investors, there's so many other ways to do it, and there's, different entities and vehicles you can use. And it's, you can get into a very high-level discussion talking about that kind of stuff.
And there's sort of like that level of experience that you pick up over time. Mm-hmm. But, the idea was if I put this sheet together, then us, because we partner with people on flips, they bring us the deal and we put the money up. But like in this case, we could partner with them like on all these other ways. Mm-hmm. So there was like a funnel. So we didn't find ourselves telling them like, oh, we can't do that anymore. And I'm hoping that that's the thing that gets people feeling really encouraged about talking to sellers. But the one thing I guess I can't seem to beat into people's heads, no matter how often I teach it, is they're gonna sell the house. Like, it's gonna sell. Like, how can you buy it?
Yeah, and that's basically a matter of asking questions of the seller.
Yeah.
Like, what are you looking for? Do you want me to just tomorrow show up with a big old duffel bag full of $100 bills?
Yeah.
I give it to you. You give me the deed to the property. We're good. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, what are you gonna do with the money when I give it to you?
Oh, that's a good question.
You gotta put it in the closet, like bury it in the backyard.
Probably put it into a bank CD or something smart like that, right?
That's like the most profane word ever.
Yeah. Do we even look anymore at how much banks are paying on their certificates of deposit?
Zero interest.
Yeah, I don't think I've looked for a while.
Zero interest in looking, and zero interest on the certificate of deposit.
I'm sure it's quite low. It's still probably sub 1%.
I had my uncle tell me that my grandmother had, she had money she got from my great grandpa.
Okay.
And so she had some money sitting, and she was going to sell off another property, and she wanted to know what to do with it. And the guy at the bank told her that he could do really well. She could do really well on a 10-year CD at 2%.
Huh.
And like was serious, and she was like, "Oh, this is safe." Now, granted, keep in mind
safe.
Well, she the money she has came from a CD that was purchased at 15%.
Yeah.
For
From back in the 80s.
back in like 79 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that was like the greatest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have these people who are coming to an age in which they no longer understand technology,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still holding on to that whole idea.
Well, there's that whole, I mean, basically the capital markets are what dominate our, like, the general public's knowledge of, like, investment vehicles. And, most people, when they think investments, they think CDs, treasury bills, stocks, mutual funds, bonds, maybe. That's pretty common knowledge, I'd say, for most people. And then some people with a higher level knowledge know about the vehicles those all use, like 401ks, IRAs, SEPs, it's different stuff like that. People know about those things, but there's this whole other side of other investments you can make that produce a way better return on your investment.
Yeah.
I mean, you can invest in a restaurant, you can invest in a franchise, you can invest in real estate, you can invest in so many other things. I mean, you can help people buy cars and get into the used car lending business if you have a license to do so. Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot of different stuff with your money.
But that they call them alternative investments, as if the other ones were like the right ones.
Yeah, and it's and the stock market at the core is, I mean, it's basically you're investing in a business.
You might as well be taking a briefcase full of money down to the local McDonald's to help them build it.
Sure, or you like that restaurant down the street from you, and you can go to the owner and say, "Hey, I love this restaurant. I'd love to see you expand and stay open on Mondays."
Yeah.
What do I need to do? Do you need any money? How do you think we could expand this? And you can basically help expand a business, take an equity piece in it, something like that. I mean, there's so many other things you can do with your money that are passive, like the stock market or a mutual fund, or you could be active with it. You could kind of buy yourself into a job.
But that kind of, that's don't do that.
Like buy a dry cleaner or something.
But that comes into, so I was driving back today, and I'm listening to rap, and like,
beautiful.
And as I'm listening to it,
Tupac just got inducted to the Hall of Fame,
we were
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
talking about that yesterday.
I can't stop talking about it.
He's got a hologram.
Yeah,
it's like Michael Jackson. He's got a hologram. That's legit.
Elvis got one too.
Yeah,
they're all still alive. We all know that, right? No.
They're just projecting from somewhere else.
Yeah,
on the planet Xenon. But a lot of the songs were like I'm listening to are the newer ones are. Like I did this all by myself, basically. Every song is like all me. I did it by myself. Like this is mine. I am so awesome. Whatever. And there's this, commerce is an exchange. Like it's community.
Right.
And so people are trading money, and pop culture, like rap and pop culture, are a byproduct of the public's mindset.
Right.
And so the public is essentially, at least in my impression, the public is, do it all by yourself.
Yeah, that's the American way. If you can't get it done, or if you want it done right, do it yourself. Like stuff like that we hear all the time. It's it's like, nonsense.
But lending money is communal.
Yeah.
So like part of lending money, or part of being a community is, the old rich person would lend money to the younger, like strapping person that was going to go out and do the work.
Sure.
And it was like full circle, and that's kind of the stock market came about and all these other vehicles.
Right.
But then people got used to just putting stuff into a pie, right, picking their color.
Oh, sure.
And they like forgot that you can at any point invest any way you want, and the reason investing in a community, and I don't mean like investing in your local bank, I mean in local business or real estate or whatever, has a higher return is because it takes more work and building more relationships and time.
Yeah, it's not as easy as looking at a piece of paper, your financial planner slides in front of you, and select the pie chart that has the nicest colors on it.
I like the semi-red one.
Sure, that looks like it's taking the least amount of risk. I don't know why we've gotten so scared of taking risk. Like, why are we so risk adverse in this country?
But I think that comes in a lot of what we were talking about earlier about people that just they say they're going to do it, don't do it, is because they're afraid of failure, and I don't even mean failure like in becoming a quote failure at life or whatever. They're afraid of
looking stupid.
Yeah, they don't want to trip up.
Yeah,
like I got a call yesterday from
it's fear of failure. Is that would you attribute fear of risk would be more accurately described as fear of failure then?
it's like that. But it is risk. But like what they're risking is their time. It seems like.
Yeah.
Like they believe that their time is valuable, which it's not. Like your time is only valuable if somebody's willing to pay you for it, and that they don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to do this too much.
You're right.
And I think maybe the industry, maybe the real estate industry or investment industry has been such a get-rich-quick sales pitch for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
That their belief is sort of like that they, this shouldn't take this much work and time. And so they're looking for that. Remember we talked about the magic bullet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the quick
bullet.
fix.
Yeah.
I think people are deep down looking for the get-rich-quick scheme that actually works.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and I hate to break anybody's bubble, but real estate is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
There aren't any.
No, there aren't any that I've found. I mean, the lottery is probably the only get-rich scheme that actually have seen people get rich really quickly on.
But the
for
scheme
doing
is on
basically
you.
Nothing.
The scheme is on you for buying the ticket.
Yeah, unfortunately, you have to spend a lot of money on the lottery before you're probably going to win, if at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's you.
It's not really a business. Don't make your business on buying lottery tickets.
You can do what you were doing for a while. Though, what was that? You'd pick up the scratchers out of the top of the trash can. You could mail them in because
the lottery had the second chance drawing thing. So if people just throw away their lottery scratchers, just go collect them, and you register those as a second chance thing. You might win something for no investment.
Didn't you like fill out the back or something and like
you register them online? There's like a number you type in or something online, and I kept a stack of these things, so it was great. I didn't
win.
I didn't win anything.
You paid nothing, still didn't win.
I paid nothing. Time. Yeah, I lost time, but I need a little hobby. It's like woodworking, or like sitting in a rocking chair.
Ship.
Yeah, exactly.
But so the call I got yesterday from this girl was, she had. Anyway, it was about a deal, and they replied back with they wanted her to do some stuff, justify her price reduction, basically. And my response was essentially like, well, I don't know. I've never done what they're asking you to do. You should ask them what you should do. They're asking it of you. Go ask them. And she was like frustrated that I didn't have an answer for her. Like, I'm not benevolent. I don't have an answer to everything.
Yeah.
Right? Benevolent, is that the word?
Omnipresent.
Omnipresent. Anyway. So.
Omni something.
Benevolent, yeah. No,
Omnitrans.
Omnitrans.
They're everywhere.
Free plug. But they, she was like I could tell she was like mad that she was going to waste her time. It was going to take her more time. I don't feel like it was a waste of time. I feel like she was getting education and learning something.
Yeah. A lot of this business is just talking to people and trying to figure out what do you need.
Yeah. But they don't want to.
Yeah, well, I think it's that fear of looking dumb. Or they're going to ask me something that I won't know the answer to, and I don't even have enough confidence to fumble my way into an answer, I guess. I don't know. Or I don't want to say I don't know.
I think
I say I don't know all the time.
Well, like there's the only analogy I can come up with that I think people don't believe is what's supposed to happen is when you go learn any new sport. Like I use snowboarding as an example because it's the most annoyingly painful one to learn in the beginning.
Because you literally have to pick yourself up and try again.
Yeah, and so like you're going down the hill, you fall off the lift, right? Like you fall off the lift, then you.
Let's hope you did that when you're like on the exit ramp.
Yeah, I'll make it a left out of the way.
Or like I think we went one time and you got dragged underneath it.
No, I got hit in the back. Like I look like there's Zach was talking about like I got hit like a gunshot wound. Yeah. Just taken right out. There was a 2-man lift going super fast.
I thought it was like the three of us were trying to get on. It was like you, me, and Zach.
Oh no, this wasn't the first time.
It was just one of those times.
I have been snowboarding lots of times, and I still on occasion will miss the lift.
Yeah, it happens.
But I mean, there's a metaphor in that, right? So like you get off the lift and you start to go, you strap in. You hope you get that right. Right. You hope your configuration's set up correctly.
Yeah, until you realize you're goofy-footed.
Yeah, and you're backwards. So then you get up and you go like 2 feet, and you fall over, and then you get up and you go 5, and then maybe you get 15, and it's incremental.
Yeah.
Until eventually you can go all the way down the hill on your own. You still look really goofy going down the hill, but you can do it on your own. And like I think people are afraid to do that. Like they get into a. Not an investment because this isn't them putting money up. This is them putting up time, right? Mm-hmm. They get into any kind of business that requires time, and they do the initial steps, and they don't want to fail and then go a little farther. Fail, go a little farther. Like they're afraid of. It's okay if each person you talk to thinks you're dumb as long as you learn something each time.
Yeah.
And eventually you talk to somebody and they're like, "Oh, this guy knows exactly what he's doing."
Yeah.
Little do they know.
Over time. I could definitely remember times, I mean, like rollerblades used to be a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So, I remember putting on the rollerblades and going
Yeah.
up the top of the hill, and you start going down. You really haven't figured out how to make that brake work yet where you're not going to fly forward. And I'm going, maybe 30 miles an hour. I mean, it seems really fast on rollerblades. It's a pretty steep hill.
Because you can't run out of them.
Yeah, you can't really run, so what's your option? It's like, okay, do I go off to the right into the dirt and hope it doesn't hurt that bad? Or do I just keep going and hope these wheels don't buckle underneath my feet and I get a road rash? Yeah, that was always fun. I learned how to use the brake later that day, I remember, but on that I just decided to ride it out and hoped I'd slow down over time.
Well, then after that, we had the dogs towing us around the neighborhood.
Oh, man, I had a bad story. Well, my brother, Alan, he had a bad story where he was riding. We had the dog in front of us. We were riding our bikes down the same hill, and the dog decided to make a left turn and cut in front of him on the bike while we were going down that hill. And, basically just went, head over heels essentially and flipped over a few times. Dog was fine, but, my brother was like, what just happened? Like, he had no idea. He didn't see the whole thing happen. It just kind of happened in front of him. But, that
Which
hill
is
was
exactly
scary.
what can happen in a real estate deal.
It really can. I mean, you end up sitting on your butt in the middle of a street wondering what just happened.
I feel like I was just taken advantage of.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Lenny. But I think people just need to be willing to fail and look stupid, because the risk is worth the reward,
The work is the reward. That's what I think people don't get. The work is. The work, it always is. You were just too dumb to know.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I didn't know.
I am dumb, and I didn't know that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't know. Like, I never knew that the work was the reward when I was starting. Like, there's no way any of us knew that.
You're right.
But you don't have enough experience.
Yeah, the process becomes enjoyable. Like for me, like I don't, and I know you're the same way. We don't celebrate so much anymore when we get a deal under contract. We don't celebrate really when it sells. Like there are little milestones within a deal that I think we get excited about. Like, oh yeah, rehab's going to be done. Looks great. Looks amazing. Hey, we got a deal. Like we got it. We got an offer. Like a full price offer. Looks great. Those are like moments that I get excited during the deal. But once it actually closes, it's kind of like, that was what was supposed to happen.
Do the paperwork. Let's move on.
Yeah, like now I'm kind of annoyed because I have to do work again and all the admin.
It was
stuff.
fun in between.
Yeah, it was fun when I didn't have to do much.
I can just point. Like you should paint that blue and move that over there.
Yeah.
And I don't really like this wall anymore.
Let's put a walking path here with a little park bench. Oh, that'd be so cute.
Yeah. I like the response to that. Oh, just keep those ideas coming.
Yeah.
But there's this. I feel like such an old man. There's like this epidemic in America where people they don't want to take a risk. They don't want to physically, mentally, whatever, do the work, and then they want to just throw poop at the people who
throw feces
I
somewhere.
have to use poop on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Just throw poop.
Got to be clean mouthed here.
It's funnier that way.
Brandon's got his finger on the button. I see him. He's just waiting.
At people who do the work.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I can't believe you have that stuff that I don't even really need anyway because I didn't do the work myself, and I'm mad at you because you're a representation of me failing.
Yeah. Let's throw rocks at the guy's Rolls Royce because I couldn't achieve that level of success, and he's obviously a crook.
Yeah, like could that possibly happen? Well, maybe he helped a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's probably out just about every single night because he's at some community benefit.
Yeah.
He's all over the town.
We meet them all the time.
We do. I mean, and you see the same people at all these different things we go to.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do. They're involved in the community, and they do well for themselves in the community because they're involved in the community. They're not sitting at home every night watching Survivor or whatever's on right now.
They're like, people complain about the community, and then they don't realize that there's this handful of people who are like killing themselves to make the community run.
Yeah.
And they don't even acknowledge that those people, they're the reason it exists to begin with. Like, somebody started the city.
Yeah.
Somebody put a stake in the ground and was like, I'm going to take this from indigenous people and plant orange groves in the city of Riverside and then enslave a bunch of indigenous people because that's what people did back then. And then eventually turn it into a city, and then the people built wealth, and then eventually became more civilized, and then everybody shared in the freedoms as everybody realized that that the dynamic changed, and then they all essentially became workers in one way or another. And somebody started all that. They imagined it.
Yeah.
They looked at a valley and were like, we're going to do this here.
Yeah, there's actually there's a big city in Kern County. It's got a larger landmass than the city of Los Angeles. It's a full planned community.
Oh, that's that street one, right? You show me?
Yeah, it's called California City.
Yeah.
If you look it up, it's in Kern County. It's, you know, if you take the high desert, I think it's up 395 or something, but it's you can actually see there's roads, there's stop signs, they're all dirt roads and stuff. And like the whole city is planned.
Yeah.
They planned it in the 1960s or 50s or something like that.
So I stopped there when I went to that prison event.
Okay.
It was in California City.
Yeah.
But I forgot when I was there that was the case. Their downtown, their main street,
Yeah.
looks like it should be a main street. Like it's planned out. You
Yeah.
could see like where there's like a McDonald's and a Walmart, but you could see where all the stuff could be.
Yeah. Yeah, it was planned out. I mean, it was like they had, you know, specific residential areas. I mean, it's like that game Sim City. You know, you like built the whole thing and waited for everybody to come, but they never came.
Because it's a hot
Yeah.
mess in the middle of the desert.
Man, Kern County. Yeah, I mean, obviously they've got part of the Central Valley in Kern, you know, so they do have like a lot of farming and things, but
Yeah.
there are parts of Kern County that are miserably hot
I'm good.
like,
Thanks.
all the time.
Yeah, I'm
You
good
know,
on that.
Summertime.
And dusty.
Yeah, dusty and yeah, so no thank you to California City for me anyway, but you know, for those of you looking
There's
to
a
make,
beautiful correctional facility there. They did a fantastic job building it.
I'm sure it's very nicely air conditioned and
It was
you know.
it was a great experience.
yeah.
For
You know what?
the record, I was there for an event, not in prison.
Right,
I was
yeah.
teaching. I was teaching.
You were inside a prison.
I was teaching inmates. We call them entrepreneurs in training, EITs.
There you go.
How to start a business when they get out.
What was that program called?
Defy Ventures.
Defy Ventures.
Yeah, I just saw the name again as they debited the American Express
Yeah.
again for my monthly dues.
They got our most recent donation. You're welcome, Defy Ventures. And
Great
what
program,
a,
by
what
the
a
way.
wonderful organization they are. You should check them out if you're interested. But it's about halfway through, so we should talk a little bit about the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club, because
Super.
those of you out there that are looking to get into real estate investment and are skeptical of these people that put out these large, expensive programs,
As you should be.
or free educational seminar, workshop, whatever you want to call them. They have
Free
a lot of
quote marks.
very clever marketing terms they use for these things. But if you want to learn more about real estate investment and don't want to make that huge investment without really knowing what the grass looks like on the other side of the fence, you should come check out the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. We have 4 meetings every month. The main meeting is on the 4th Wednesday at the Mission Inn in Riverside. We do that at 6:30 p.m. Is when we open the doors and get together with local real estate investors. We have anywhere from, it's about 150 to 200 people now every month come out to that meeting. And these are all very serious people in the industry. We do get a lot of newcomers. A lot of people that do listen to the show here have come by lately, so that's cool.
Like 50% are new.
Yeah, 50% are new or so, but you know,
It's
the rest-
casual, by
very
the way.
casual. Yeah, so I know a lot of people see us if they go on Meetup.com. They see our pictures. I'm wearing a suit, which is very uncommon. I think I went to a funeral that day. That's why I was wearing a suit. But we meet on the 4th Wednesday this month in May. That would be the 4th Wednesday.
Hold
Which
on, I had
just
it
waiting for my
pulled
calendar
up.
to come up, and it is the May 24th is going to be the monthly meeting at the Mission Inn. Before that, actually, this month afterwards, on May 27th, we're going to be doing our typical Saturday morning coffee. We usually do that the Saturday before the 4th Wednesday, but Stephen has a speaking event on the 20th, on May 20th, so we're not going to do the coffee that day. We're going to do it on May 27th, which will be right after the meeting. We also have
The 12th, Lake Alice.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We are going to be doing a happy hour event at Lake Alice in downtown Riverside. That is Lake Alice Saloon, I think is what they call it. So, yeah, check that one out. That will be getting together there at 5 o'clock at night till about 8 o'clock. Get together, network. The coffee is free. And there's no pitch or anything. It's no host. We just kind of get together and network. Same thing with the happy hour. It's no host. It's free to attend. But obviously the places we go, like buy a drink or something. The coffee, that's at Lift Coffee Roasters.
I mean, we usually buy enough drinks for the group in ourselves alone. They're just happy to have us.
Yeah.
We'll make sure it's a good time.
Yeah, we have a good time. And yeah, and then at the big meeting, bring your business cards, bring your flyers, come check it out. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet investors, and before you go check out one of those big expensive seminars, you should definitely come check out our club, because the expensive seminars are very good at selling you on the dream of being a real estate investor. And both Stephen and I, we've been in this business over 12 years each, and it's not something that we got successful at right away. And we also didn't get into the industry to be real estate investors initially. We actually started out working in the industry as different things and became investors. So we have a little different perspective on it than most people do. But yeah, before you go check out one of those big things, come check us out first and then go. I'm not going to say don't go, because I know they do have good information.
Yeah.
You do have to pay a pretty good amount of money for it. Information is good, but we found a lot of people are kind of like confused after they hear all this stuff from them of what to do next.
I would say if you're new, you come to our meeting. My advice is it's not don't go, but like, I think those weekend seminars are free or $300, and there's ones like $2,000. Like, just don't go unless like you really feel like you have an amazing grip on the industry.
Yeah.
Don't go to the event that's any more than like the $2,000 weekend one.
Yeah.
Because there is good
been to
education out there, but the weekend events that you get from some of these other people in our industry are incredibly more valuable than
Oh, sure,
some
yeah.
of the other ones.
There's some that, I mean, a lot of times I think they disguise those as like educational things, but it's really just a big long sales
It's a pitch, yeah.
And but I know that the one that's coming up this month, starting May 19th, out at the Coachella. What is it? It's in Palm Desert. Where is this one? It's called the.
I don't even remember the name of the. It's something Springs.
Something like that. It's at the event's called the Millionaire Makers Next Generation. This is an actual educational thing. This is something you and I both believe is actually a good thing to attend if you're looking to get some more direct education into real estate investment. It's going to be a great event. It's sort of based upon the old Millionaire Makers seminars that used to happen with like Peter Fortunato, Jack Miller, people like that would put on these amazing seminars, and you'd learn a ton of stuff about
like drinking from a fire hose,
pretty much. And it was they're like $600. I mean, it's completely worth the price tag.
This I think we're at $395 now. I think is the price on the thing. The rule apparently that Jack Miller is the guy that taught a lot of stuff in the industry a long time, and his rule apparently was the weekend shouldn't cost you more than $1,000
with hotel and airfare or whatever.
Yeah, so if you're looking at an event, like consider that you don't really want to pay more than $1,000 for a weekend of education. And matter of fact, if you look on like an RCC course or anything like that, and they have those week-long courses or weekend courses, that's about what they cost.
Yeah.
Like if you go to
the Learning Annex,
all
that stuff.
All those are they're all $500, $1,000, $1,500. Some of those week-long ones, like to learn media and stuff, are like $5,000. But Andy, Andy Teasley is a member of our club. He put this thing together.
We had him on the show a while back. Yeah.
He put this thing together, and I feel like it's done with all the best intentions. I feel like this year people are going to get like an incredible bargain. Like it may up the price next year if it gets some real traction, because there's 10 people, like, and then a panel, and then it's like jam packed from like 9 to 9 or something like that.
Yeah, and 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's
Friday evening, all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Yeah, May 19th. I don't know. You can.
It's MillionaireMakersNextGeneration.com.
Okay,
is the domain. MillionaireMakersNextGeneration.com. Yeah.
Okay.
You can look at the info on
check
it
that
if
out.
you want to go.
Yeah, that's something that we will say is worth going to, worth attending. And we occasionally will. It's not that we're pitching, we're not promoting necessarily anything, but we do like to mention the things that are worth going to. I know, like, for example, if Bill Tan ever does like a calculator class, or if Gary Johnson were to do a calculator class.
We don't get paid to promote these either.
No, we don't. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you guys want to pay us, though, we're definitely open to that. No, but yeah, we don't get paid. It's and even if we did, it wouldn't like.
Yeah,
I'd promote it anyway, just because there's certain things we do believe in, and if I don't mention the name of any seminar, it's because I don't want to get sued for some reason. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. That's that. If you're interested, come check it out. You can go on meetup.com and look up the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club, and come learn about being a real estate investor, and come hang out, meet some people, and all that. and we should get back to the other conversation we were having.
At some point, we're going to be back, and now we're going to take a break and pretend
Yeah.
like we're doing a real commercial.
I know, huh? Yeah. Are you tired of sleeping on that same mattress? Like, well, if I were tired of sleeping on the same mattress, wouldn't I be okay sleeping on that mattress? Because I'm already
'Cause I'm
tired.
already tired.
I don't know.
So what's another gripe? Like, is our main gripe just that people don't perform?
That's a gripe, obviously, but there's other gripes I have, regulatory gripes, but these are existing. These are
Yeah.
long-standing. I mean, I was kind of talking about it last night with some people at the cash flow game, talking about the fact that pre-Dodd-Frank, real estate investors had a little more like
They could
creativity.
do a lot more, yeah.
Yeah, you could do different things, and now with RESPA, TILA, CFPB, all these other different things that came out of Dodd-Frank, it's we're somewhat restricted to
Yeah.
only transact real estate in traditional sort of methods. Like there's really no creativity in there. Like I know that what's weird is that, like, let's say I own a home and I want to sell it to somebody, and we don't want to deal with a bank lending the money.
Yeah.
I'm just going to lend the guy the money. I don't need the money right now. I'm just going to lend the guy the money to buy my house from me.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to make payments to me instead of to the bank. Sure, I could charge him a little interest. Why not? That's
Yeah.
what the bank's going to do. It's hard. You can't do that as easily now. I mean, you have to now go through a broker, and you have to have a servicer for that
You have
loan.
to prove they have capacity to pay. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot to it.
Yeah, and that's and of course there's already usury laws in California,
Yeah.
which means you can't charge more than 10%
Yeah.
on a loan. So, there's different rules.
Proper reporting methods. You have to use a servicer now for sure because like
Yep.
the reporting methods are so stringent.
Of course, yeah, and it should probably go through an escrow and all that kind
It
of
just
stuff.
costs the consumer a lot more.
Yeah, the consumer costs time, and and me as the guy that just wants to lend a few bucks to somebody, it's now costing me extra money
Yeah.
that I was able to make before. So
Now, but everything's just a workaround now.
which
Which
that's
is
kind of
annoying.
having putting middlemen in place, is always kind of annoying, just because it's so much easier to just do things directly with somebody. I mean,
Somebody just it should have been like, hey, you need a horse. I have a horse. Here's some money. Here's my horse. Have a nice day. Or I don't have all the money. Can I make payments on your horse?
yeah,
And now because it's a wobbly box on a lot, it's different than a horse.
right.
I don't get it.
Yeah, now we have to have some other guy involved that tells us this paper needs to be signed, and this needs to be this, and this needs to be that.
Plus all the new disclosures for the guy in the middle who can't get sued.
Right? Yeah, nobody wants to put themselves out there.
Yeah, let's not forget that. There's actually a real shortage of brokers who will do MLO, mortgage loan originators in California, who will do sell a carry paper on owner-occupied or even non-owner-occupied. Like, they don't want to go through the process.
Yeah, because you still have to get registered with NMLS and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's and that's expensive. You have to have $250,000 net cash, liquid,
To
do it to be an NMLS broker.
be a broker, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to have on deck. I mean, I think if I had $250,000 sitting in a checking account or something, I'd like to be investing that in some form or fashion.
Right.
Not just making it available in case I get sued.
I wonder, there is a little bit to that. Like, we were talking, to some of our investor partners, and, they're basically saying, like, they wanted us to be liquid.
Yeah.
They wanted us to have a certain amount of liquidity in the company.
Of course.
So they felt comfortable. There's probably something to that with the whole broker, the $250,000 broker piece. But I guess you just do it, based on short term, right? Like, if you can get your capital out quick to solve a company problem.
I guess it's so much more different when the government's telling you to do it.
It is. Yeah.
When they're telling you how to run a business. Like, those rules were set by somebody else.
Yeah.
And they swear that that's the only method to do it.
The problem is once they're in place, then the public starts assuming that the government's going to protect them.
Yeah.
Which is where, we have government overseeing education, which is probably why some of this real estate education isn't on the up and up, right? We've had some of this real estate education get accredited to take VA dollars.
Mm-hmm.
That was a giant mess.
Sure.
I mean, that was they were taking $25,000 from soldiers. We're just coming back from war to teach them real estate that they couldn't deploy and charge the VA.
Yeah.
Right, I don't know the VA, the government. I don't know who actually pays the student loan. I don't know where that money comes from. But anyway, essentially our military money that's supposed to be spent on vets coming back for education. And everybody just was fine with it because the government said it was okay.
Yeah.
Nobody checked into it at all.
Yeah. And, it's the world of money and the government is a very interesting subject.
Tumultuous?
Yeah, a little tumultuous. You know, like how they spend their money and how they create money and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of wonderful things we could talk about there. But
if we did, everybody probably fall asleep very quickly.
Exactly. And you know, if you were driving right now in your car on the freeway, we don't want you falling asleep.
If you're nodding off, I apologize for going down a random diatribe about the government.
Well, you know, I guess instead of gripes, maybe we should talk about something more lively. We could talk about deals we got going on right now. It's always fun.
We have a lot.
Yeah, I know. I was going through with our transaction coordinator earlier today. I'm like, she's like, "What about this one?" I'm like, I have no idea what house that is. I'm like, I don't know which one that is.
Just to clarify, he doesn't know what it is because I do a lot of the acquisition. I do the initial intake when the deals come in, and then Todd puts together the paperwork to fund them with our investors. So usually it's like I'm the guy on the front end that's filtering, and then Todd is closing the transaction out.
Right. So when it comes time to close out a transaction, and our transaction coordinator's like, "Hey, what do we do with this file?" And I'm like, "I've never even seen that name before," because it's probably fairly new, I'm guessing. But we drew up loan docs today, and we're having printer problems. But hey, that's always fun.
So you went back to gripes again.
I know, back to gripes. Hey, we could complain about a lot, but we could also.
What's been interesting is we've for anybody who is selling property, we've noticed these trends. We have a system called Arlo. And Arlo is made by Netgear, and they are amazing. Mm-hmm. If you need a camera system for your house, buy the Arlo Pro.
Yeah,
and so
Arlo Pro is great.
So we have cameras in our houses, and we can basically see the buyers walk through the house. Mm-hmm. And the buyers are there's cameras, but they don't pay much attention to them, so they're talking about all the things they hate about the house.
Yep.
So we get to hear all the feedback of like what they say is wrong with the place,
or all the things they love. More often, they're talking about the things they like.
Well,
I mean,
the only things I'm concerned about the ones they don't like, right? Yeah. So we want the house to be perfect.
Of course.
So they come in, and it's cool to see like their face and their reaction, talk about how great the house is. But then they start going through like, oh, it doesn't have this. It should have had this. If I lived here, I would want this.
Yeah, I know. We were surprised on one recently where people were talking about how we didn't put a refrigerator in.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't usually put a refrigerator in. A lot of people already have one, or they have a very specific type of refrigerator they want to get.
Yeah.
And who am I to decide which refrigerator I'm going to put in the house? Because they're buying the house with this
if
thing.
If you really want to give you credit for one.
Yeah, exactly. If you want one, you tell me the model number. I'll buy it and put it in for you.
I'll install the stupid thing in.
But. Yeah, it wasn't there, and we actually had a few people walk through the house saying, like, oh, there's no refrigerator, and then a couple of those people were like, and there's also no washer and dryer.
Yeah.
Again, it's like
it's a vacation market.
True, yeah, vacation rental. I mean, it's more of a, or vacation second home kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, still. Like those things for me, I'm like, yeah, of course we didn't put those in, but for them, it's like that was missing.
It was apparently an issue.
And it was an issue, which may mean we didn't get an offer on it. We don't know. It's good insight anyway, for us.
But so we're talking about changing, the design to the homes.
Yeah.
We talked about one thing that we really took for granted, especially because we were dealing with a lot of lower end homes, was curb appeal. And I don't mean clean. I mean like really being the king of the block for the street.
Yeah, right. Spending a little money to kind of spruce up and give some elevation to the yard.
Yeah, we want people apparently I think we underestimated this, but people will mow their front yard before their back, right? If they have a gallon of gas and only get one lawn done, they'll mow their front. They'll install new retrofit windows just in the front of the home.
Yeah.
They'll paint just the front of the house, or they'll just recover the front roof if that's the only part that's leaking.
Mm-hmm.
And we hadn't really considered that until we started hearing the feedback from buyers, and they want to look good to the neighbors.
Yeah.
And we never even thought about that.
Yeah, I know. Just you don't want to nobody wants their neighbors to think that they're like some bums living in the house or something. But it's funny. I mean, we've been in tens of thousands.
Yeah.
We've been in so many homes, and such a common thing is that people start these projects.
Yeah.
And they bought the home. It probably was very conforming. It was all the same. Like they had the same doors in the house, the same doorknobs, the same, everything was matching. But then over time, they're like, okay, we, Junior over here, he drove his tricycle into the door, so they had to replace the door. Now it's a different style door.
Yeah.
You know, and like you go to the home, there's like 4 different styles of doors in the house, and there's like 6 different types of doorknobs.
And they put different tile in different rooms because they designed each room separately.
Yeah, exactly. Different tile, different carpet.
Not even similar patterns or laid correctly.
Yeah, and you know, it's like, okay, so they decided to do this bathroom in 1986. You could tell because this is the stuff that was
It
available
still has
then.
the gold fixtures in this
Yeah.
one.
Oh, those are so
They
beautiful.
brushed from the late 90s, early 2000s, and now there's the Aura bronze in the kitchen from like the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
The shocking thing to me, other than the curb appeal, was how few people noticed all the mechanical detail we took.
Mm-hmm.
Like we made sure the air conditioning system is serviced and runs properly. The water heater, like all the plugs work. Like we go through the whole house to make sure
Yeah.
the thing's mechanically sound. And because we have been more focused on mechanical than cosmetic.
Yeah, it's interesting when people are like when they're measuring to figure out where they're going to put their television,
Yeah.
you know, and their sofa, and they're like, oh, but there's no cable outlet here
Yeah.
for the cable, you know, if that's how you're running it anymore. But they're looking for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we put the home together like that, and didn't focus as much on it being sexy, I guess. Like it had looked clean and nice.
Yeah, and everything matching, same doors,
Yeah.
same doorknobs, you
Yeah.
know, throughout, same kind of fixtures for everything.
Yeah.
Same, similar paint color, not, different sheens.
And and everything was modern with all the new designs people were going with. A lot, now is a lot more grays and whites and
Yeah, I mean, because we got started, it was still kind of like browns and more like
like sand-colored granite and dark cabinets, and
tan walls.
Yeah.
Brown countertops, brown
Yeah.
cabinets, dark wood.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Which
now it's white on white, like white trim with like bright white trim with Swiss coffee walls.
yeah, like white on white on white,
Yeah, white cabinets.
gray walls, and
Yeah, it's weird.
distressed wood. Like all that kind of stuff. Lighter wood too. Like
Yeah.
a lot of times, like wood flooring is not like a darker color anymore.
No,
They're-
now it's honey sandish, like
Yeah. So, design changes. And we were talking today, like how we want to get into like some of these most
Mm-hmm.
recent design magazines and figure out what we need to be doing next. Like
there's
what's the next thing?
There's actually a service, and I don't want to pay for it because it's $10,000 a year. So it's the only reason I haven't said opt for it. But what people actually don't know is, if you've seen the movie Devil Wears Prada, she says like that decision, you didn't make that decision was made for you. She's talking about the sweater she's wearing,
Yeah.
her cerulean sweater.
Yeah.
And there's actually there's 2 services. One is like kind of boutique, and one is like an international one, where they set the trends.
Yeah.
They actually 2 to 5 years out project what the trends are, and it's not like they have they have cool hunters that are figuring out what the hip kids are doing. They're literally creating them
Yeah.
and then selling these new designs to major stores.
Like that movie, Keeping Up with the Joneses, with
Yes, yeah.
David Duchovny from like 1992 or
Yes.
whatever it was. They create a fake family to move into a
And
town.
they sell product.
Yeah, and they basically are there to help sell product.
That's
and
a nice
promote.
that's a nice jogging suit.
Yeah.
And golf clubs.
Oh yeah, I got it at such and such. It's
Has
a good
it-
idea.
You just sell that Audi R8 to like all the neighbors.
Yeah, I know.
That was good.
That was a funny movie.
But
But check that out.
But
It's
that's it's sort of like what this is like. I mean, there's these systems in place that basically tell you what's next. So it's not hard to predict because it's just only the wealthy designers can buy this information.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get access to that somehow, even if it's just going to talk to a designer and spending time with them. I'll pay for their time and instead of paying the $10,000, right?
Yeah, sure. Because we, as home designers, I guess,
Yeah.
we have to be on top of it. What is the buyer going to want next year? Especially if we're getting in like building,
Yeah.
like new construction. You really want to know what is the buyer that's going to be buying this next year going to be looking for. Because right now it might be quartz countertops, but maybe they're going to invent something new next year. Maybe Corian comes back.
Those
I don't
things
know.
are already pissing me off.
Quartz.
The quartz is so granite.
We're back to gripes again.
Well, okay. So from the design standpoint, right?
Yeah.
There was a time period where Onyx got popular, and
Okay.
of all of them, Onyx was my favorite because it was really boisterous, right? It was like it almost
Bold, yeah.
It was bold, almost how like I gave your mom a hard time for her bold backsplash in the
Yeah.
kitchen, like it was bold, and you could backlight it, and it would show through, and it was a neat feature, and it kind of disappeared. I haven't really seen it, and you know what? While we're having this conversation, it just occurred to me that we should look back into Onyx.
Yeah.
in our office, we put in the quartz, and we chose for a white, but it's like a white speckled, so it could take a little more abuse.
Right.
And then in our Palm Springs house, we put the plain white. And the plain white, I stayed there for Stagecoach, and every single thing that Cass, my girlfriend, dropped on the counter would stain it. Everything.
Yeah.
And that as a homeowner, you're going to hate that.
Yeah. When you can't get stains out.
I never want to put that in another house again.
Right.
And so our concern, right, because functionality was really important to us, was that these things last. And granite actually lasts a really long time.
Yeah.
And it's a very durable stone. Now, your mom made the point, because for those of you who haven't listened, Todd's mom's been an appraiser she just retired, but almost 40 years, so she'd seen a lot of trends, and sort of made the point that, granite is going to be the next gold flake mirror.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be the ugly thing from the 70s.
Right.
I actually, I don't want to sound like an old man, I wish we could keep it, or find a stone that's as durable, that's not made of plastic.
Yeah.
That'll last for a while.
Like marble was there for a little bit,
Yeah, and so Carrera stains too.
Yeah.
Yellow or white Carrera stains.
Well, you just aren't supposed to actually use these things. They're just supposed to sit there and look
It's
nice.
ornamental.
Yeah, it's an ornament. It's not an actual, usable countertop.
Remember travertine was popular for a while.
Yep.
Travertine is actually an extremely porous stone.
Right.
And so if you put travertine in a shower, it fills up with mold.
Yeah, and you got to spray it with bleach regularly to keep it from molding up.
It's a luxury thing, but limestone is more expensive, and tumble limestone lasts forever.
Okay.
So you use tumble limestone instead of travertine. Limestone is, if you want to do maybe we should do limestone counters. That'd be expensive though. The limestone, you do walkways in it. It's slicker than snot if you do a walkway with, but it's if you don't put some treads in it. But the stuff it'll last. Libraries are built with it.
Yeah.
Stuff's amazing.
Well, you remember terrazzo?
Yeah.
Basically an epoxy.
It was kind of cool.
I like it. Terrazzo looks good, and you still see a lot of commercial buildings that use terrazzo floors in it.
Yeah.
I think it looks kind of cool. I know it's popular out in the Palm Springs. In the modern.
They demand it.
Mid-century modern.
Yeah.
If you're going for that look, because that was something that it was a poured type of flooring that you'd put in a home. And we could do terrazzo countertops.
We could.
That'd be kind of cool.
We should. I want to start. I want to start exploring
different stuff.
After this Millionaire Maker event, I can stop writing this manual that's going to take up the rest of my time. I want to start going out and look at different materials.
Yeah, that's always fun. I know we just wrapped up on the show before with Let's Go Shopping with Bev.
Yeah.
Maybe we can call Bev up and we'll go out shopping. Yeah, we'll go out shopping for some design stuff and whatnot. Bev will love it. She loves just getting out of the house. And Rich will love it too because he loves when Bev gets out of the house.
he can tinker.
Yeah, exactly.
But I definitely I guess I definitely want to put if you can get one thing from that conversation is you'd be surprised how a ceiling fan and I think the ceiling fan is the ultimate example. Everybody still loves ceiling fans. I still do.
Yeah.
Now they're like barnacles. People don't want to see them, and they don't care if you pay for them. So you have $300 in a ceiling fan. Instead, you could have done a half hot on the wall, and you could have put $300 in staging in that room.
Yeah.
And you'll get a better price, which is what we're going to be doing from now on.
Yeah, you could put a end table and a lamp.
Yeah.
Rather than having the ceiling fan with a light up there.
And now the switch works the lamp.
Right.
The room lights up. It's a warm tone. It's a yellow.
Yep.
Instead of the ceiling fan, which is a white.
Right.
And it feels more soft and comfortable.
More homey.
Yeah, more homey. And you get a better effect.
Yeah, I like it.
I think we'll be doing a lot more stuff. The halls, I think we'll still put cans in.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the boob lights.
Oh yeah, the I don't know what you call
the 2 for $20 Home Depot specials.
Yeah, the little dome lights. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They look like San Onofre.
They're just
nuclear
they're weird
plant or whatever. Yeah,
it's the San Onofre nuclear plant.
All right, so we only got a few minutes left. So 3 minutes left. In fact, we have 3 minutes. So we're going to talk a little bit more about if you're interested in becoming a real estate investor, or if you are a real estate investor and want to get to know some more people in the industry, maybe you might want to come out and meet us. Who knows? We do the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. We meet at the Mission Inn once a month on the fourth Wednesday of every month. From 6:30 till about 9:30, and then we get together after that and go to the Presidential Lounge there and have a few libations, and some good time. And that's where all the deals happen, actually. So if you're going to make some deals, come out and see us there, or you can come check us out at the coffee, which will be the Saturday. Usually it's the Saturday before the big meeting, but this month we're doing it the Saturday after. That'll be at Lift Coffee Roasters in Riverside. We have coffee and talk and network. That starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. We go till about 10. Some people stay later, but I got other stuff to do on the weekends.
I got to roll.
So we take off. We also do a happy hour event where we get together at a local bar of some sort or restaurant. And, same thing. Network, have drinks, have a good time. That starts at 5 o'clock, goes till 8. That's going to be at Lake Alice Saloon in Riverside this month. That is going to be on the second Friday, I believe. So that's next Friday.
It'll be the 12th.
Friday the 12th. There it is. And we also do a cash flow game, which is a board game created by Robert Kiyosaki, which is a real estate seminar disguised as a board game.
A very effective one.
Yeah, you learn basically how to put together creative real estate deals and have a lot of fun. It's,
Buy one for your family.
You should. Buy one for your family. Make it part of family game night. Cash Flow by Robert Kiyosaki.
I want to get paid to promote that.
Oh, geez. Wouldn't that be nice? We and then we do that the first Wednesday of every month.
Yeah.
So that was last night. So if you missed it for May, we're going to do it again in June on the first Wednesday, and it'll be a lot of fun. But if you want all the information about all the different meetups we do, you can find all that information on meetup.com. Look up the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. We're the largest club in the Inland Empire and the largest club for quite a ways, actually. I think
we're almost the largest club in Southern California. We're like 2 people away. We're 2 groups away.
Yep, there you go. We're getting pretty big. The bigger clubs are the ones that have been around a long, long time. We've only been around for just under 3 years now, so at least the club anyway.
Yeah.
And so, or you can always Google us and everything else. Is there anything else that you wanted to say to anybody out there to, give a few words of encouragement, Matt Rock style?
I would say fail upwards. Just go out and screw it up.
Try stuff.
Just try stuff. When you were a kid, you used to build a clubhouse.
Yep.
Just go build a damn clubhouse.
Yeah.
Right?
And do something. Yeah, just build something, have fun, and, be safe, of course. And if anybody was interested, this is not an attempt to sell any kind of securities. This show is not about that at all. We're just here for educational and entertainment purposes, obviously.
We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, well.
We don't know. Just don't listen to us.
Do your due diligence. Yeah. Always talk to your counsel and your CPA before you make any kind of investments and whatnot. And anyway, that wraps it up for us this week. We appreciate you listening to the Flip Flop Investor Show, and I'd like to thank my guest, Stephen McKee. We will see you all again here next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. right here on KCAA, the station that leaves nobody behind.
Take it easy, guys.
Have a good week.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Tanya Hansen, CNBC. Stocks ended flat. The Dow fell 6 points. The Nasdaq was up 3. The S&P rose 1 point. Shares